Hey there, everybody. Well, we have the hard map and hard boss unlocked now, and so I've gone ahead and gone through it. Worked my way, got all the way up to level 10. A few things that are, might be a little bit frustrating to some folks. Probably the most frustrating thing is that level 7 is probably not going to be auto farmable for most people, like, using the auto map. Just like the last one, level 7 is sort of the last stop for the increase in rescue signal points. So there's no use in farming anything beyond level 7 because you get the same number of rescue signal points for everything starting at level 7 and upwards. However, the difficulty spike at level 7 is pretty significant, and I personally have not been able to consistently auto farm level 7. So I had a team that was able to do it like once or twice, but it was very, very inconsistent. So for me, I'm kind of going back and forth between level 7 and level 6. If I don't have time to actually sit and just tap go, then I'll auto farm it on level 6, and that's probably what most people are going to want to do if all they want to do is just set it on auto and forget it. Kind of a set it and forget it. You're probably going to be stuck on level 6. But if you're on level 7, and you don't have like really strong units, or you don't have a very good auto battle team, you're probably going to have to go manually. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to quickly show you level 6, just, how my team will just quickly auto farm it. So this is the team I've been using for level 7 as a just tap go. It also works very easily as an auto battle team. So I'll just turn the auto battle on. I'm only going to do one, but we'll sort of show you how it works. A couple of things about the boss. So it's pretty much just throws a lot of single target stuff at you. You got your mob at the beginning. That's whatever. These guys die pretty quickly if you're just farming it. He does have two of the little, they look like SP eaters, but they don't actually, they don't eat your SP. They either will attack you or they will self-destruct. That's sort of like what this guy, at the hardest level, he will revive those little guys when he hits confusion mode. So that's something to keep in mind. He doesn't do that until you reach level 10 though. Now, as you can see, auto farming at level 6 is pretty simple. He's fairly squishy. He does still hit pretty hard though. So I recommend having the Brave Beat miracle ability on there, because that'll give you at least a little bit of regen, gives you some SP so that your units can use their skills to knock him out faster. So I literally just stuck, a bunch of DPS in there. Of course, you've got Pegasus in there for the bonus. My Pegasus is currently sitting at, I think, LB4, which reminds me, the hard mode shop does have the rest of the medals, which we all, knew was coming. I went ahead and bought the first one. I should go ahead and buy the second one since I've already gotten enough points. That should be your priority in the hard shop, is getting the medals for Pegasus. That should be your first order of business. Then I would say go for the customization seed, starting with the GB and then the MB, and lastly the KB. Once you get the customization seeds, then you can look at doing like the orbs or maybe the attack cubes, whatever you think is important. This crafting stuff, like seriously, I mean, until they actually make craftable items that are actually useful and like give you added stats in game, this stuff is useless to me. Like I have absolutely no use for any of these things. So if I farm the things that I want and I still have some points left over, I might pick up a few of these things, but I don't plan on doing it. But another really cool thing about getting your Pegasus up a few LB levels is that you now get some tickets for limit breaking your Pegasus. And also, just like the last time, the good rewards for beating the boss stop at level 9. So if you don't really want to play level 10, you don't have to. All you get are some silly stickers, which are again, another useless thing. I am going to go ahead and limit break my Pegasus because you do get a ticket for doing that. So let's go ahead and back up here. Let's grab my ticket. And I'm not sure if you get one for every level. Let's check. Yep, looks like you get a ticket for every level. So getting your Pegasus up to LB Max should be a priority, because not only are you getting a free LB Max unit, you get the index points for that, but you also get some free Premier Gacha tickets. So that should be your biggest priority. Now, as for level 7, like I said, I don't have a competent auto battle team. It's going to require much stronger units, or like units that are designed for auto battle, like Santa Mickey. He's a very good auto battle unit because he comes with the buffs when he attacks. Units like Beast, who are really good because he regens your SP for you, so he's great as an auto battle unit. The 2 banner units are, of course, are basically very well designed auto battle units, and this event is proving that if you want a good auto battle team, you should pull for the 2 banner units. But again, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend pulling for either unit unless you're maybe a newer player and you would like to pick up Hercules, but Hades is a waste of your crystals. But if you're a whale and you have both of those units, you should be able to auto battle 7 just fine. Now I'm going to use the same party, but it's not going to be an auto battle. I'm just going to show you how I do. It's basically a just tap go party, and it basically just relies on Mini. Whoops, and it's already starting the auto battle there. All right, let me go ahead and back out of this because that auto battle is not going to work. I always forget to stop the auto battle, but it basically just relies on Minnie and Pegasus using their skills every turn. Everybody else doing normal attack unless there's enough SP, and then I have Judy doing her skill only when there's enough SP for her to do so. My Judy is of course LB3, so she's the strongest unit that I have as far as like her skill strength, because her skills hits with an immense modifier, which is the 2.4 times modifier. But yeah, everybody else is just doing normal attacks here. All right, and so this is a just tap go strategy. So it's worked for me consistently, and we typically kill the boss in 4 turns. So it's a pretty good just tap go farming strategy. So it's if I don't mind being there to actually tap the screen every like 10 or 15 seconds, then this is the level I'll farm. But if I don't have, if I'm not around and I can't really do that, then obviously I'm going to just auto farm level 6. And yeah, one of the reasons why you can't, as you can see, that the boss does dish out a pretty considerable amount of damage. And so if you can't kill the boss quickly enough, he will just pound your team into the ground, which is one of the reasons why the auto battle teams just have a harder time at level 7. This boss really hits you hard. Now, I will say that Pegasus's evasion does come in handy. This boss is susceptible to evasion because he does a lot of normal attacks, but all of his skills, the evasion is completely useless. So yeah, you're not going to get any use out of evasion for his normal skills. Now I'll real quickly just do level 9. I'll show you the team that I use to clear level 9 and level 10. I'll do level 9 just because it's more consistent, and level 9 is really the only one where you get the best rewards. This team also got me through level 10 as well. But like I said, level 10 is not really worth it unless you really are going for it. So here's the team that I use. Marie's my SP battery. I basically have Minnie and Genie basically just doing their skill every turn pretty much, just keeping the damage reduction and the defense up on the party. Belle's there for the critical hits, and then Jafar is there just dealing damage from the free damage from his EX skill. So let's hop in here and see how we do it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just build up all my, I'm going to build up my SP on this turn. All right, I've been trying to re-roll on SP lock resist on my Marie, but in the process I ended up landing a level 2 SP gain up on EX skill, which is really good for her, as long as the boss doesn't use SP lock, and this boss does not do SP lock, so perfect. So I decided to keep that on her for now until we get another boss with SP lock, and then I'll go back to re-rolling SP lock resist. All right, so you want to kill the ads first, because if you don't, then they might self-destruct, and that'll be bad for business. All right, so we definitely don't want that. Okay, I'm going to focus on this guy. I should have killed that one, but yeah, it's all right. I'm not too worried about it. All right, let's do some damage to this one because Bell's AoE will take care of the other one. No problem. Not too worried about that. Okay, there we go. Now we can focus on the big boy. Alright, so as you can see, he does that big AoE, which is pretty powerful, and it does hit pretty hard. Hits even harder at level 10, so you can imagine what that's like. On level 10, I would be doing a lot more defending with my units, as opposed to just kind of going all in on the offense and using the skills every turn. But since we have Marie with no SP lock, we can just kind of unload the skills. You could potentially get away with no Marie on this and go even faster and just stick another DPS in there. But I like having Marie because it means that we can maintain our defense and our damage reduction up pretty much full time. And so this is almost another just kind of tap and go strategy here. Nothing really to it. It takes a little bit because it's a bit of a turtle team. I'm not gonna lie, but it works. It gets the job done. So he will remove all of your buffs when he hits confusion stage, and then he immediately goes back to normal. He has like no confusion stage really. So that is something to keep in mind. It's another reason why having a lot of buffers is really critical. So do keep that in mind. When his HP gets into the red zone, he will buff himself with a 50% damage reduction and a crit rate boost, which means his attacks will deal a lot more damage. So that can be kind of dangerous, and you may find yourself doing a lot more defending in those instances. But yeah, so they do only last, I think, 3 turns, so you can kind of just defend your way until the buffs wear off, and then you can go back to doing damage. So that's just something to consider. You'll see that in a second if we hit if we get them into the red, probably on next turn. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go ahead and use my skill here because I want to use Jafar's skill as well. Oh, I can't actually use his skill. That's fine. I'll use. Here we go. I want to use Jafar's skill because I want to try and get him into confusion mode. Yeah, now all of our EX skills will hit him with the defense, with the natural defense debuff. You can't break this guy's attack. You can't break his boom, look at that. All right, took him out. You can't break his attack, can't break his defense. So you got to use the natural defense break from his confusion mode if you can. He doesn't get any kind of attack or defense buff in rage mode. So that is something, you know, that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about that. But anyways, that's how I took this guy out. Jafar obviously is not a requirement. Neither is Bell in this scenario. You could honestly just swap in any two other buffers. If you didn't have Magic Mini, you could put Pooh in her place, and then put like a Rapunzel for a healer, and put another DPS in Jafar's place if you don't have Jafar. So there are a lot of different team combinations, but it's basically just it's going to be another turtle power boss, unless you have Hercules, and then you can kind of play a little bit around with his skill and using that to sort of strategize and power through the rage phase. But yeah, I mean, basically this boss boils down to it hits hard. And so you just got to turtle it out, and you got to make sure you use defense wisely. You got to defend when you're hurting and when your units look like they're about to die. So use defense wisely. I'm not going to do level 10 just because it's basically the exact same thing, except the boss will revive those little ads, and so you just have to kill the ads again. And yeah, and you know, it just takes a lot longer, and there's a chance that I don't win. So I don't really want to bother with all that and bore you with a super long video. So anyways, that's all I really wanted to show you guys, just a couple of ways to take down this fight. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys, and I will see you on the other side.